All right, guys. So here's the thing. We're on a new. Matter of fact, welcome back to the channel. I know I haven't done a One Piece review in a little bit, but I thought I'd start doing them a little bit more regular now. I know. I said that before, but this time I think I'm for real. I think I'm for real. We'll see. So basically, let's get into this chapter. This is chapter what? Oh, I'm also unprepared, man. I don't even know what chapter this is, but it's 996, chapter 996. All right, so we're getting closer and closer to that 1000 chapter. So four more chapters. I think we have enough for if Oda doesn't take any breaks other than basically the scheduled breaks that Shonen Jump is going to have in general. I think we'll make it to the 1000, which will be a big milestone, and I know that's what Oda's looking for, is to make it into, like, chapter 1000 by the end of the year. Hopefully he makes it. So this chapter basically has, if I remember correctly, about 5 parts or so, and we're going to go through each part and talk about it, what happened, how I feel about that part, and just in general what it means, right? And the cover page, we got Blackbeard brushing his teeth next to a hippo, and obviously hippo, because Blackbeard got that yuck mouth, that mouth, just gaps everywhere. So I thought that was a little funny, and I guess how they both looking at each other, I guess jealous of the other's teeth. But moving on to the chapter itself. So last chapter where we left off, I didn't do a review, but you guys read it. Otama popped in there to save the day when Nami was gonna meet her maker. And which is, I really wish I did a review on this chapter last week, because it was like a big moment. This is like, I think this was the first time that, like, Nami has proclaimed that Luffy's going to be the Pirate King, and literally when she was facing death, she couldn't bring herself to say that Luffy wasn't going to become the Pirate King just to save her own life. So that was a pretty big moment. Almost every time, like, the Straw Hats, each Straw Hat has proclaimed that Luffy is going to be the Pirate King, it's always been like a big moment. I can't. My memory is not like, serving me good, and I didn't do the research. Like the name says, I'm casual, so it's not like I'm gonna go do a deep dive to go find out what the fuck each Straw Hat has said, or what situation they've been when they proclaimed that Luffy was gonna be the Pirate King. But I could think of maybe for, like, Zoro, he went in front of Mihawk and basically just kind of like begged, because he's like, he wants his captain to be Pirate King. Or Zoro again, when he took Luffy's pain because he said he's going to be the Pirate King, that situation. And Jinbei is another one that I could remember, is very recent, where he said basically, why would he be afraid of a king when his why is he afraid of a mere emperor of the sea when his captain is going to become the Pirate King. So that was a big moment. I wish I had did a review on that. But moving on to this actual chapter, Otama came in, and with Otama being in there, she brought in with, like, the little beast friends. We remember Otama has the power to control beasts because of her dongles that she could, like, poke out of her cheeks. And we have the bamboo, the sword wielding bamboo fighting page one, which is like, which is weird to me, because it looks like it's a struggle in a way. It's not a struggle, but it's an even fight between them. I don't know how even it's going to be moving forward, but it seems like an even fight, which is odd to me, because I feel like this is just a wild beast. Page one being one of the flying six, like, should easily be able to take out a wild beast, no matter how strong it is. They remind me of, like, basically the beast that Luffy had to fight in Ruskina, I think, the island, wherever the time skip was taking place. And Luffy, those are nothing to him now. So I'm thinking that beast is the same way, but apparently not. It's a real fight. But and the reason I say it's a struggle is that Otama told the beast to, like, bite him 3 minutes. 3 fucking minutes. That's a long ass fight. For, like, basically fodder. It's for a flying six. So we'll see where that goes. and Nami had the same thought process that I'm having, but Otama was like, don't look down on us. We're all samurai. We came here to fight. And Otama basically was stole away on a enemy ship. That's how she got into the island. Very convenient. And that's one thing I'm gonna tell you right now in this chapter. A lot of conveniences happen, which I am not. I don't like very much. I'm not a big fan of conveniences for convenience sake. So basically we have so the next part we have the last battle we had with Yamato and Momonosuke and Shinobi. And they were fighting Sasuke and his iron core or iron metal core, shield core, whatever the case may be. It reminds me of like Fishman Island with those shield people. Seems like the same exact thing in a way. I guess each arc we're gonna get like a defense corp, whatever, and it looks like Yamato's been taking a bit of damage because they're behind these like barricaded shields and they're just blasting her with cannons and gunfire and whatever and explosions. But she seems to be taking it pretty well. She's surviving. She has a lot of blemishes on herself, like she's been taking damage, but whatever. So basically, Shinobu is telling her, "Hey, just leave. Take Momonosuke and leave me here and whatever and survive." And Yamato was like, that's not what Oden would do, so I'm not gonna do that either. Sasaki, which is the head of the defense corps, defense unit, he pops up, says, "Yeah, you know what? How about we do this mano a mano because." Obviously, you're gonna take these people out. It's gonna waste. You're just gonna kill my man, and there ain't no point in that. Let me just end it now. And for some reason, I guess Yamato's a bit surprised that Sasaki would even, raise a sword to her. And I don't know. Maybe they have a relationship there. And here is the first convenience that comes in. Frankie runs towards them. I don't know. Maybe it makes sense because remember Frankie was running. He was supposed to run out of the castle. Maybe it makes sense based on the map that he would run into them, but it just seems a bit convenient because we have one of the giants, the ancient giants, basically smack everybody there and just ends that fight. It's just like a fight that was going to happen kind of gets interrupted. It seems to be something that happens very common nowadays because I think Oda is more focusing on telling the story instead of having great big fights anymore because he's trying to get to the end goal, which is fine. Like, that's what makes One Piece so great is the story, the world building. But it gets kind of frustrating and disappointing at points where like you're looking for a fight to see how characters stack up with each other and basically it gets cut off due to convenience. Or another thing he employs, which he does in this this chapter as well, is cutbacks or cutting, and then when he returns to a certain part, like time has passed to where the fight is basically concluded and you don't know what people can do, what people did, or whatever the case may be. You just get snippets. We don't get full form fights. I can't remember the last time we had a several chapter fight other than like Luffy and Katakuri. That was the last time we had a serious fight. But yeah, so the giant rocks in there and he has a club and he just basically bashes there. And here's another convenience. There's basically underground tunnels where he crashed, and Shinobi and Momonosuke and basically fake Oden were able to dive in, which it's convenient, but it kind of makes sense. I just don't like that it happened like that, because they are in a tower with several levels. I'm pretty sure there's underground canals and stuff like that. I'm just not a fan of it, just because it seems a bit random. But one thing we do see is just it's that fake Oden was able to one shot the ancient giant. Which what I would say about that is these giants have been very disappointing. I don't know why Oda brought them into the story at all. They serve no purpose other than, I would say, I would say like world building. Like we know about them now. We know there's a race of ancient giants, and so that's good. But strength wise, like why do we need how many of them? 10? I believe like 10 of them. Like why? They seem particularly weak. All they have on anybody is size, and like this arc is already full of so many characters of different factions and groups and alliances. It's just like these ancient giants. I don't know if Oda had a bigger plan with them or for them or whatever the case may be, but they are not it, fam. They're not it. They're not. No, they're not it, man. They could, yeah, that ain't it. And it could be that they're drunk as well, but I don't think this giant is drunk. And he got one shotted by Yamato, which is, I don't know. We'll see where it goes with that. It just seems they seem like they're just a waste of space and convenience. They're there for convenience, like just running in there and stopping the fight with Sasaki. Okay, cool, whatever. I'm still annoyed by that. So, and another weird thing is when Yamato basically runs away, and she says like, I'll leave the rest to you. So we're gonna go get a fight with Frankie and Sasaki instead, which makes sense. I think a lot of us kind of predicted that would be probably a fight to happen. It seemed like they would be matched off against each other, so that's cool. But Frankie, if I don't remember. Oh, actually, no. I was gonna say that Frankie just trusted Yamato with Momonosuke out of nowhere, because I think the translation I read, he says, I don't know who you are, but I'll leave the rest to you, kind of thing with Yamato. But if I remember, I think she did. Frankie does know Yamato because Luffy told him that, she's fine or whatever, but he said I didn't know who you were. So I was a little bit confused with that. It might be a translation error. When we get the official translation, I guess it might be cleaned up a little bit. But moving on to the next section is basically the Will of D. We got a little bit more on the Will of D. Actually, we got nothing more on the Will of D. We got the Will of D was brought back up, and if it's brought up, I'm assuming we're going to get some new information soon about it, a little bit more tidbit, a little bit more sprinkle on this little mystery you got going on of these natural enemies of God. And we found out that Law told what's her name told Robin that he's a D, and Robin is curious on it. But Robin, basically the thing is, Robin is a learned woman. She wants to know. She's a scholar. She wants to know everything, and she would love to know like the Will of D. But her captain, who is a D, doesn't really care that much. So they're not going out of their way to find the mysteries of the D. But if Luffy was somebody like a captain who cared about that kind of stuff, I'm pretty sure the Straw Hat Pirates would be on that case immediately. It's more of a happenstance now with their crew, where basically when they run into something, more information, they run into more information, because that's the type of person Luffy is. He wants the adventure. He doesn't want to plan it. He doesn't want to, like, basically his whole plan, the only thing he's planning is make it to Laugh Tale. That's literally the only thing he has in his mind, and whatever shenanigans happen along the way, it happens, but he's not going doing any side missions. But it seems like the whole story is a bunch of side missions when you really think about it. Yeah. So Law finally makes it to the basement and finds the poneglyph, but it's not a road poneglyph, so that's what it is. And we cut back to basically to the freaking, how do you call them, scrap metal guy. Yeah, I know what I'm talking about. Killer and the magnetism guy. Why can I not remember his name right now? Why can I not? Captain Kidd. How could I not remember Kidd? What the fuck is going on with my brain? But yeah, Captain Kidd and Killer. Basically, they're running away. They're trying to go down to Kaido, up into the roof of the tower. And he's basically attracting all the metal on his way up. I'm like, damn, that's a lot of metal. And he basically asked Killer, yo, you think this is enough? And Killer's like, bro, we about to fight the strongest motherfucker in this freaking verse so far as we know. this might not even be enough. Take as much as you can. And he's like, good point. So here's the part that I say, like, like that Oda's been doing lately is just these cutbacks and cut forts and stuff like that. So remember, I think a previous chapter or 2 chapters ago, Oda went back to his human form and he's fighting the Scabbards. But the Scabbards are basically defeated when we cut back to them. We get to see none of their freaking fighting style, their traits, any kind of anything. Kaido's looking pristine, looking clean, nothing. But we have Kamazo, is it Kamazo? That stabs him. Basically stabs him in the side, which is kind of another thing that, a lot of people are a little iffy about, is like, how are they able to stab him and wound his skin? Because literally the whole thing was that it was such a big feat that Oden was able to pierce his skin and cut him and like leave a mark on him, which Kaido ever since been trying to reach that high. That's basically a high for him, and he's just been trying to reach it, to where I'm thinking, my little theory, maybe that kind of pleasure, he's a masochist, or so he's just been trying to get that thrill again. So that's why he's been trying to kill himself, get so close to death, just so he could get that thrill of excitement or pain or whatever. But these Scabbards are able to do damage to him, so who knows. So basically we move on. All the Scabbards are on the ground, and Kaido's walking up to them. Nothing there. Really disappointing, because we don't see anything at all. Like, Oda, stop doing this to us. We want to see the fights. Yes, we love the story and all, but we want a little action from time to time. Come on, man. Come on, man. But okay, so last time we had the Phoenix fighting Big Mom. Big Mom ran. Big Mom said, "You don't got time for this bullshit." Like, you're a small fry. Not really small fry, but why am I gonna waste my time on you, Marco? Like, come on, I got bigger plans. And she says she's heading to Kaido. Honestly, I think Big Mom is looking to betray Kaido. I don't think it's like to team up with her. I think she's thinking like, okay, this is a good opportunity to take over Kaido and take over his crew, because like basically everybody's against Kaido. All the fractions, I think she's hedging her bets that they could win with her help. So she's just going to put that extra manpower to beat Kaido. And here again, it's another convenience type situation with Big Mom chasing Luffy all the way here, and now if she's able to land a help them with killing Kaido alone, it's like that leaves a sour taste in my mouth. But this is just me assuming and guessing what's going to happen in the future. It hasn't happened yet, so I can't really mark that off on Kaido, like being a little bit too convenient. But Luffy's so we move up. That's just my opinion. We're moving up. So basically, Luffy's running up to Kaido, and he has Jinbei and Sanji with him. Who's up there that could fight Sanji and Jinbei? Like, because you would think it would be Jinbei and Zoro, because King is I think King is up there, so that would be somebody for Zoro, swordman to swordman, and Luffy and Jinbei could go at Kaido. But Sanji, maybe they are similar in strength, but I always the fandom always had it in a tier of Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, and now with Jinbei officially a member of the crew, Luffy, Zoro, Jinbei, Sanji, or Luffy, Jinbei, Zoro, Sanji. But most definitely I would say that Jinbei's stronger than Sanji, as far as we can tell so far. So it's an interesting trio there. I hope this is not the new big three, this Luffy, Jinbei, and Sanji. I don't think so, but whatever. They're running up there, and then Sanji feels something. I believe out of the three of them, his observation haki might be the strongest observation haki out of three of them, because he specializes in observation. They all have it, but I think his is a little bit more pristine. Maybe that's how he was able to perceive that somebody was following. I can't tell who it is that's following them. That got Sanji shook. I'm thinking it's Big Mom. But I don't know. It has to be somebody that kind of like put some fear into Sanji. I can't tell if it's fear or annoyance because I'm thinking it's Okama in a way. I don't know why. I'm thinking it's some kind of Okama that Sanji knows or something because I feel like that's the reaction that he would give. Because you remember, like if you see the little small panel of him, he has like the lines over his eyes, like oh god, no, not him, not in a terrified way. But then the next page, it looks more of a terrified thing. So I can't really tell. The most obvious thing to think is it's Big Mom, but the dialogue doesn't seem like it's something like Big Mom would do. Big Mom did have like a singing thing, but I don't know. She did have the whole singing thing in Totland, but I don't know if this is Big Mom. And it has the text has a bunch of hearts at the end of each statement in a way. So that's why I'm thinking maybe it's an Okama that Sanji knows. So maybe it's the cavalry that came to save the Straw Hats, some help from outside. I just can't pinpoint it. Honestly, I could look it up or go see what somebody else says and piggyback off them, but nah, I don't know. Pretty casual. This is just my take on it. So let's see. Next chapter we'll find out who it is. And the reason I say it's Big Mom is because Big Mom is coming up, but the dialogue just doesn't match. And with that, that's basically the chapter. We don't have a break next week, which is great. Hopefully, Oda's health stays up and he doesn't have to take a break. And because we don't want anything like that to happen. We don't want a break, and we definitely don't want Oda to get sick. And review of the chapter overall, I would say the chapter is, I don't know if anything really happened. Things that like nothing has happened yet. The only thing that we could say that kind of has taken place or that progressed the story is that Yamato escaped with Momonosuke and Shinobu. So basically that's the only progression like from where we left off last week, and basically I guess Otama came and saved the gang. But that happened last chapter. Nothing has changed. It just got a little bit further. So overall, progression-wise, this chapter hasn't really progressed much. Nothing really happened, in my opinion, based on my interpretation. Everybody's moving a little bit closer. So hopefully next chapter, people that are supposed to be meet and could pop off. I didn't really like the conveniences that seem to be happening in this chapter either, and the Kaido fight, it's just kind of like I would even be happy if we saw a hybrid Kaido. I don't think he needs to go into hybrid form to be the Scabbards, but that would have been like cool to see. Matter of fact, no, I'd be pissed if Kaido was in hybrid form and we didn't have a whole freaking double page spread to see the transformation. I'd be kind of a little irked a bit by that. So I guess that's good. Rating for the chapter, I'll give it a solid 7. Last chapter was much better in my opinion. This chapter, I give it a solid 7. A solid 7. It's One Piece at the end of the day, So with that, guys,
I'm out of here.